So do you also want to extract the business expenses in Google Sheets within seconds? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to extract business expenses in Google Sheets using an AI agent. So like you, I also used to manually add all the expenses in my Google Sheets, but this is such a time consuming and an error prone task. So to solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I upload the receipt into my Google Drive, automatically using my AI agent, we are just going to add that receipt details into our Google Sheets. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Drive, OpenAI and Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. So in this video I'll show you how to automate the extraction of business expenses using an AI agent and organize them directly into your Google Sheets. So we are just going to extract the details like the company name, amount, date, payment method, expense category and the invoice number, and we are just going to add all of these details into our Google Sheets, eliminating the manual entry and reducing the errors. So let's build an efficient expense tracking system powered by AI. So to do this, I'm simply going to open a new tab and I'm just going to look for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. And now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and over here it's just going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of hours free every month to explore the application. But over here I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in. And once I'm just going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you're going to see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And once I'm just going to click on this access now, it is going to open the dashboard of my Pabbly Connects account. And over here to start with this automation, we simply have to click on this button which says create workflow. So I'm simply going to click on this button, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here on my dashboard you can see multiple folders which I've already created in which I save my workflows. So if you also want to create a new folder, you can go to its this create new folder button and create your own. I've already created mine, so I'm just going to save my workflow in one of these only, which is automations, and now I'm just going to name my workflow as extract business expenses in Google Sheets using an AI agent. Alright, so now after entering this, I'm simply going to click on this button which says create. And once I'm just going to click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this, you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger. And that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, I'm simply going to select my trigger application as Google Drive. So I'm just going to search for Google Drive and select it. And now for the trigger event, I'm simply going to select it as new file in a specific folder and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Drive account with your Pabbly Connects workflow, you can simply click on this button which says select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And once I'm just going to click on this blue button, Pabbly is asking me to select the Gmail account, with the help of which I'm just going to connect my Google Drive. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account right over here, and now Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. And with this, we have successfully connected our Google Drive account with our Pabbly Connects workflow. And after connecting this, I'm simply going to select my folder or the subfolders. Over here you can see the name of my folder is expense receipts. So I'm simply going to select the folder right over here, but while selecting the folder you have to keep in mind that the folder should be a shareable one. So what do I mean by shareable one? So you have to go towards the folder name share and once again towards this share, and over here the general access should be anyone with the link and editor, otherwise AI agent will not be able to read and write the documents. Alright, and after selecting the folder, I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request. But before clicking on this save and send test request, I'll just let you know that Google Drive is a pooling based application. So pooling based application means that this application will not check for new data instantly. It is going to take some amount of time to check for the new data, and over here in the case of Google Drive, it is saying the trigger will check for new data in 10 minutes. So once I'm just going to click on the save and send test request, Pabbly is going to capture the last response or the latest response made in my Google Drive. So before clicking on the save and send test request, first I'm just going to do the test submission. For that, I'm just going to go to this new file upload, and over here I'm just going to upload the file. Over here you're going to see that this is the expense receipt, so I'm simply going to upload this, and after uploading this, we are going to click on this save and send test request so that Pabbly can capture the response of this file uploaded. So yes, you can see that Pabbly has successfully captured the response of the same file which we uploaded right now, and with this we have successfully completed our trigger step. And now I'm just going to move on towards my action, which is my AI agent OpenAI. So I'm just going to look for OpenAI and select it right over here, and now for the action event I'm simply going to select it as extract content from PDF/image and click on this connect. Now it is asking me for the add a new connection and select existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account, you can go towards this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. So to get this token, you simply have to follow the help text, and it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So I'm simply going to go towards my OpenAI API key page to get the API key. And after coming over here, we simply have to go towards this create secret key. We have to enter the key name, select the project, and click on this create secret key button. I've already created my key, so I'm simply going to paste that key right over here, and I'm just going to click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it's asking me to select the OpenAI model, so I'm simply going to select it as GPT-4o Mini. You can select any another of your choice. And now it's asking me for the PDF URL. So over here, I'm just going to simply enter my PDF URL, but we are not going to enter it manually or by copy pasting it, but instead I'm just going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Drive as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only, and as soon as we are just going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So I'm simply going to map this web content link right over here, which is my PDF URL. And now it's asking me for the prompt. So over here I'm just going to extract the details from structured output, but this prompt is a required field, so I'm simply going to give a really simple prompt which is extract me the details from the given file. And after entering this, I'm just going to move on further towards the structured output. So over here we have to enter the structured output JSON object, but I promised you that I'm just going to create this workflow without knowing any programming or coding language. So from where I'm just going to get this object. So to do this, I'm just going to read the important notes, and it is saying to generate the structured output JSON object, navigate to this URL. So I'm simply going to open this URL, and using this only I'm just going to generate the JSON object. For that, I'm just going to click on this generate, and now I'm just going to give the prompt to generate the JSON schema. And to give the prompt, I'm first going to open my spreadsheet, and after opening the spreadsheet, I'm just going to open a notepad. And now in this notepad, I'm just going to enter the details which I want to extract. So first, I'm just going to extract the company name. So I'm simply going to enter company name right over here. And now I'm just going to move on in a new line, and I'm just going to enter the type. So the type is short text. So I'm just going to enter type short text right over here. And now after entering this, I'm just going to move on in a new line, and I'm just going to give the description for the same, which is extract the official name of the business mentioned in the report. Now I'm just going to move on forward. Same I'm just going to do with all of these details. I'm just going to enter amount. I'm just going to move on towards a new line, enter type, and do this for all of them. And now you can see that I've simply entered it for all the details, and now I'm just going to simply copy this prompt right from here, and I'm just going to paste it right over here to generate the JSON schema. I'm just going to click on this create. So we're just going to generate the JSON schema with the help of this prompt only, and now we're just going to wait for a few seconds. And as you can see, the JSON schema has been generated. So I'm simply going to copy this JSON schema right from here, and then I'm just going to open my workflow, and I'm just going to paste it right over here in the structured output field. And after pasting this, I'm simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, my AI agent is going to extract the details from this PDF, and then it is going to give it to me right over here as the response, which we can further add into our Google Sheets. So we're just going to wait for a few seconds till my AI agent is doing the same. So yes, you can see that we have successfully received the positive response, and these details are exactly the same details which we had right over here. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this is step 2, and I'm just going to add these details into a Google Sheet. For that, I'm just going to select the action application as Google Sheets, and now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as add a new row and click on this connect. Now it is asking me for the same once again. So if you want to connect your Google Sheets, you can go towards this add a new connection, and like we did our Google Drive, you have to do the same and go towards this sign in with Google. I've already connected my Google Sheet, so I'm simply going to click on this select existing connection and then save. And once I'm just going to click on this save, yes, you can see that we have successfully connected our Google Sheets. And now it's asking me to select the spreadsheet, so I'm simply going to select my spreadsheet, which is expense receipts. And after selecting my spreadsheet over here, I'm just going to select the sheet, which is sheet 1, and one by one I'm just going to map all of these details. First, I'm just going to map the company name, then I'm just going to map the amount, then I'm just going to map the date, I'm just going to map the payment method, I'm just going to move on further, I'm just going to map the expense category, and at last I'm just going to map this invoice number and click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this button, yes, we have successfully updated our sheets. So I'm just going to open my Google Sheets, and as you can see, the details have been added right over here automatically. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and now whenever I'm just going to upload a new expense receipt in this folder, within 10 minutes the workflow is going to get started. OpenAI is going to extract the content for the same and add it right over here in my spreadsheet. We don't have to come back in again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. All of this is going to happen in backend, and we can just sit back and relax. So yes, I use the demo receipt, you have to use the real one. Thank you for watching everyone. Go try this amazing automation, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. See you in the next video with many more automation tips. Thank you. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.